Hi there, this is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video, we're discussing a book by James Patterson and David Ellis. It's one of the James Patterson co-authored books. It's called The Black Book. I have a copy here. And I'll put a copy up of the cover in the video as well. Now, with the co-authored books from James Patterson, you don't always know what to expect. Some are really good reads, some are just terrible, some are average. I saw The Black Book and its sequel, The Red Book, at the library the other day and decided to get both. I hadn't read either before, so I thought, let's give it a go because you never know what you're going to get with these co-authored books. I was hoping for a great read. Let's find out what I thought. I thought this plot was amazing. It's one of the best plots I've seen in a co-authored book from James Patterson. From the very first section that's counted as a present day section in this novel, so we jump from present day to past. It's not a very big jump in time frame, so I did find that okay. I'm not a big fan of the past present snap back and forward in books, especially with big chunks of past. I found this okay because it was only a few days to a week, maybe 2 weeks from the past to the present, so that wasn't too bad. From that first section in the present, it's so gripping and the hook is so good. I just couldn't let the book go. I just wanted to keep reading. What we find is our main character, we find he's been shot in a crime scene, and so have two other people, two women. We don't know what's happened. We know nothing else about the characters. We just know that already in this book, in the first chapter, the main character has been shot in the head. Everybody on the scene presumes that he's dead. Suddenly, towards the end of this section, he's alive, and that catapults us through the rest of this story. We jump into the past, and we jump into the situation that drives the rest of the plot. So what he's doing is after a person he suspects of murder, and he's taking out a building, and we do learn that this building could be a brothel. We're not 100% sure. Either is he's guessing. The person he's trying to locate doesn't turn up, but other people do, and they're very prominent people in the city. They're sitting there doing this stakeout, Billy and a few other people on the force, and Billy decides to raid the place. Some other people ask him not to, some people want to, some people don't, but he decides it's his stakeout, he wants to raid it. So they do. And they arrest all the people that are at this brothel. They're looking for the Black Book, the secret book of all the transactions that have occurred in this building, in this business. That goes missing, and Billy becomes a suspect. Is Billy a dirty cop? Did he take the Black Book to protect people? Did somebody else take it? Nobody's really sure. And we also learn that Billy is undercover for internal affairs. So he's concerned that somebody's found that out and they're out to get him. So that becomes part of the plot as well. So from that moment on, when the Black Book's missing and people are looking for it, every character that we come in contact with in the book is under suspicion. We don't learn the full story about each character until the end of this novel. And I thought that was so great, that the characters were so cleverly crafted that we only learn more about them as the story unfolds. You couldn't ask for any more in character development and creation than that in a novel. I don't want to give any more of the plot away because it's so interesting and so exciting. I think readers should experience it without learning too much about it. I'll just say that for the ending, I was left a bit underwhelmed with the ending. I thought it was too convenient. I thought the ending could be stronger. And that's disappointing because, that's 10% of the book. 90% of the book is brilliant, but you have to look at the book as a whole. So that ending did ruin it just a little bit for me. There are so many good characters in this novel, but I can't speak about all of them because I could go on forever. So I'll just mention a few. The main character. He's really interesting and he was created so well because in the past and present timeline, he had to be written differently. So in the past timeline, that's before the shooting, before he's shot in the head. So it's totally different. In the present timeline, that's after his injury when he's recovering. So he's different there. In the present timeline, he's, a bit muddled. He can't remember everything. And he gets angry a bit as well. So he's still struggling with that injury and with that recovery. In the past timeline, he's a bit of a smartass. He's a bit smug, a bit cocky. But we also find out that he had a tragic occurrence in his past about 3 years prior to the timeline of this story. So that may have coloured his behaviour a little bit. With some of his characteristics in both timelines, I found him to be a little bit of a jerk, really. And I didn't warm to him as much as I think the authors wanted me to. So for me, he's not the best character to have as a main character in a series. Maybe there could have been some slight adjustments to his character to make him less of a jerk. Patty is his twin sister, born a few minutes before him. So she's always thinking of him as a little brother. She's a really clever character because she's one of the characters we don't get a full picture of, and we suspect could be a dirty cop. She's a policeman as well. I really found her character so engaging, and for me, she's the standout character in this novel. It's so good to have this character be important in the plot, but also be under a question mark. Is she good? Is she not? Are all the things she does in the novel that we think she's doing for Billy, her twin brother, in his best interest or her own? That's really interesting in this story and really exciting and so engaging. Amy is a lawyer and she works for the city. She's also really engaging because there's also question marks around her. Is what she's doing in her best interests or in Billy's best interests? Because she becomes the counsel for Billy. At the start, when she first meets Billy, she's a bit antagonistic towards him because she thinks that he's dirty. We're not even sure if Amy is dirty or not as well. So there's question marks about everybody in this novel. And Amy is another one of those really clever characters that we don't know the truth of until the end of this novel. Kate is Billy's partner on the force. And she's interesting as well because there are question marks about her as well, about her intentions, about her integrity as a police officer. And we get clues throughout the novel that suggest either way. And sometimes we get clues that suggest she's really good. There's always that question mark. Can we trust those clues? What's Billy's memory of her? Because Billy's trying to remember all the people before the shooting because he can't remember everything in those last few days before the shooting. Everything is up in the air, and Kate is another character where we don't know everything about her until the end. And that's just a running theme in these characters, and they're also cleverly written and cleverly created. It just makes it a brilliant read. When I picked up this book and its sequel from the library, I didn't know what to expect, because you never know what to expect from the co-author James Patterson books. From that first part of the story, I was fully hooked and fully engaged, and I was so surprised and so pleased that this was a great novel to read. I rate this a 4 out of 5. Not a 5 because of the ending. The ending did let me down a little bit. It's still a very strong novel and still makes me want to read more in this series.